Good Sunday afternoon, friends and neighbors. I took this back off, and I'll tell you why. I just couldn't live with myself turning that chewed up bearing that had spun on that crank. I didn't want to mess the crank up any worse than what it already was. The reason, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, that bearing had spun is this port right here, which is an oil port, was blocked with silicone, number one, or not silicone, I'm sorry, and I said that earlier also, Permatex. There was a skim coat of Permatex on here because whoever had it apart last didn't have a gasket. I don't have a gasket either, but I'm sure not gonna block that up with Permatex. Anyway, this phone gathers light. I can see better through the phone than what I can in person. So that was number one. So that crank bearing was getting no oil at all because they had that blocked. Number two, so what happened, it was getting the oil, so it had spun. When, I don't know. But I pulled that back off because last night I got to thinking, I'm not going to try to start that engine or even turn it. As chewed up as that bearing was. So I went to town this morning and got a little brake hone because I couldn't find my other one. And naturally, right when I was getting done, you see on that back, right there, right when I was about to quit, I broke that stone. But so I ran the hone inside of that bearing and took a lot of the crap out of it, okay? And then I'm getting ready to put it back together again, and I'm thinking, well, you dope, you haven't drained or even tried to get that sludge out of the crankcase. I don't know, I can't see down in there either. So we got, I'll probably never get that, and I can't find my flashlight. I think I took it down the basement last night. So we got the mechanic's bed pan out, drain that oil. I'm going to dump that old oil into a bucket that we put oil in, and then I take it to a place that burns it. But you can see just a little, let me see if I can, there you can see it. See just a little whiff of something in there. I don't think it's metal. It may be, but it doesn't look like it. The light doesn't really reflect on it. It just looks like, there was a little bit of ATF in here. So maybe that's what caused those two whiffs. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go and drain this. And he's in the house, Penny. I'm going to drain this, and if I see any metal in the bottom, I'll let you know. Okay, folks. I stuck that oil pan under there, drained it, and showed you the oil that was in it. Dumped it in a container so I can take and drop it off the place that burns waste oil for heat in the winter, heats their shop up. I have some old gas, or had some old gas, and I put in that bottle there and put the plug in and squirted that gas down in the crankcase there, and then took the extendable magnet, flexible magnet, and sloshed it around really good, and pulled that plug out, drained it, dump that in a bucket that we can take in. And I did that twice. And the second time it just, and neither time was there any chunks. But I ran the magnet around in there and I got just, you can't see in there, but no more than what was on the end of that magnet after I got done flushing it 2 times. I'm going to say I probably got between 80 and 90% of the sludge out of the bottom. And I don't know, I kind of wish that, and it wasn't like cake sludge. You guys seen in previous video what it looked like, and it wasn't super gummy. When I changed oil in it back before we started using it when it snowed and crap, I wish I had kind of pulled the plug wires off and ran some diesel fuel down in there and just cranked it a little bit, let it splash around, and I don't know, maybe it would have hurt it, maybe it wouldn't have, but possibly got some more of that sludge out of there. So anyway, that's where we're at. Got the drain plug back in. I put that back on, and for assembly lube, I'm using this. I bought this stuff years ago. $3.49. I think I got it, I don't remember where I got it. Maybe Coast to Coast or something. Permatex. I really like this stuff. This stuff is really sticky. And but that's an old bottle. I guarantee you that bottle is 25 years old. So anyway, I coated that bearing again, and the crank also, and that shim, so it would stay on there while I assembled it. Okay, I'm gonna dump, I got some used motor oil that isn't too awful bad. I'm gonna pour that in here. I'm not gonna, I don't think I got enough new motor oil, but I'm gonna put some used motor oil in here. Fill that crankcase back up. Put the, I may have to put the shroud back on because that holds the coil and everything. And kind of get it back together and rig up a gas line, and we'll crank this scoundrel and see what it's going to do. Well, folks, we got it all back together. CCKB Onan. Got it all back together and hooked wires up to it. Engaged the starter. The starter kicks in. Won't budge it. Put the crowbar back on this side, and I can't turn it again. Now, what happened between yesterday and today, I have no idea. But I'm done monkeying with it. For now anyway. I don't get it. I had it to where you could turn it, you know, pretty dang free with the bar. And put the heads back on it and everything. And then I can't budge it. So, if you're in the market, there are a lot of good parts on it. Aftermarket carb, intake manifold. Let's see, that ear on the exhaust manifolds broke off, and I just tried taking the bolt because it was only halfway in there. Tried taking it off a few minutes ago and busted the bolt off. But yeah, a lot of good parts, standard pistons in it. Can't tell you what condition the connecting rods are in because I couldn't get in that far to take them apart. So I put about a half a quart of used motor oil in it, and well, I put some straight 30 weight in it, new straight 30 weight, and I was about a half a quart low. So I had some 10W30 that I drained out of Ranger, I think it was. It was one of the pickups. And when I changed oil in it, it was sealed up in a plastic jug and everything. And topped it off with about a half a quart of used oil. So anyway, there it sits. I'm done monkeying with it for a while. I just I don't know why I had it, you know, pretty well free. Put the heads back on, well, I guess I had the heads on and turned it. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but I can't turn it again now. And I'm done monkeying with it. So there you have it. A locked up CCKB Onan. With that, friends and friends and neighbors, happy trails.